What if I told you that the very thing holding you back, behavior you blame for not achieving big things, is actually the secret weapon high achievers use to crush their goals? Sounds pretty bold of me to say, right? By the end of this, I'll show you how flipping one mental switch can turn what feels like your biggest weakness into your ultimate superpower. I'm going to break it down with a story that essentially shifted how I look at my own beliefs. Because, I mean, honestly, what's the difference? How can two people that breathe the exact same air have 24-hour days just like us, but yet produce drastically different results? What makes their approach so much different from yours, or even mine? Funny enough, I struggled with the exact same thing until not too long ago. I would tell myself I overthink too much. I'm a theorist and it's hard to take action. All these labels that I just allow to hold me back because I inadvertently use them as reasons to why I can never lead or become the person I want to be. What I realize is these labels are not facts written in stone, but they are stories that I had chosen to believe. And if no one has told you, I'll tell you today. No story, no label, no circumstance can define you unless you allow it to. A perfect example of this is how I text my mentors, for example. I typically give like 2 to 4 paragraphs of context before I even send a question. And the responses I would get will be so simple because something I barely overlooked. And I'll tell myself, dude, you're stupid. Why would you give all that context for no reason? But the truth is, context is not a burden, it's a bridge. By sharing my thought process, I empower my mentors to see the world through my lens. In doing so, they can offer the clarity that seems so simple, but erases confusion. The truth is, because I provided so much context, they understood the frame of how I was thinking. And because they had a better perspective, they could give me the answer I instantly needed. That just allowed me to take action so much faster, which is the exact same thing I told myself I was bound not to do. And these are the exact same mannerisms and behaviors that I deemed as a deficit or even as a disadvantage since I was a little kid. Things that I thought made me less capable turned into one of my biggest strengths. I realized that I could extract precise, actionable insights from high level achievers without wasting any of their time. And because of that, they saw the value that I placed on their time, and they're even more willing to help me. The exact same thing that I saw as a curse literally became a blessing, all because of how I shifted my perspective. That's the power of reframing. It's a power that all of us actually hold. When we choose to see our limitations as opportunities, we unlock the keys to transformation. It's funny in hindsight, I just asked myself, like, why didn't I think of that the first time? And more importantly, what beliefs about myself have I been holding on to that no longer serve me? Reframing is like a video game. It's like a skill that you can use to change the entire landscape of your life. But it starts with these questions. What beliefs are keeping you chained? What stories are you telling yourself that are holding you back from the person you're trying to become? Because I'm going to be super candid with you guys. Freedom isn't something that's handed to you. It's something you claim when you dare to challenge the way you see yourself and the world around you. Not too long before that chat that I had with Steve, I heard this quote from a podcast that a speaker got from Jordan Peterson at a live event. The quote states, the only way out is through. You take more of the thing that poisons you till you turn into a tonic that gurgles the world around you. Gives me goosebumps every time I even listen to it. But funny, when I first listened to that quote, when I first heard it, I was like, what does that even mean? I thought it was some abstract way of philosophers prove that they're smart in the room by using these terms that most people don't even get. But now I get it. The only way to actually grow is to confront the stuff that's holding you back. No shortcuts. The hard stuff. Things you'd rather avoid. It really isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. It's similar to lifting weights. The resistance is what makes you stronger. When you face those struggles head on, it's not just about surviving them. It's about using them as fuel. You can take what feels like a setback and instead of letting it knock you down, you flip it. The poison becomes the thing that pushes you forward. So of course, before I leave you, here are some action steps. Step number 1, audit the beliefs you hold. You have to ask yourself, what beliefs are holding me back? Why do I think this way? Is this belief objectively true, or is it based on an emotion, a fear, or past experience? I found that the best thing you can do when you're going over this specific area is write them down. Make sure you define them vigorously. Step number 2, flip the frame. Turn the weakness into your strength. How can this belief or trait serve me instead of hinder me? Who is someone that's successful that has the same trait? How do they use it as a strength? Rewrite that belief and turn it into a new frame that literally empowers you. Step number 3, take aligned action. What's one action that I can take today to prove to myself that I can hold this new frame? How can I repeat this action how can I constantly repeat this action to build momentum? Then you have to test it, but not just test it, you have to track the results. Did this shift create progress? If yes, double down and lock in. If no, then you can just adjust the frame. Guys, look, the process is ultimately simple, but it's not easy. It's about breaking the cycle of excuses and rewiring how you see yourself. It's about stepping up, owning your growth, and proving through action that you're stronger than your struggles. So the question is, are you willing to turn your poison into a tonic?